Okay, congratulations Ulti Group. This is your new Skoda Kodiaq Ambition. This is coming to you now. It's been delivered to you in Whangarei. This is your new car. Now, I'll take you through a few aspects of it. It's going to come with 2 keys. You can unlock and lock the vehicle with those keys. You can see the mirrors go in and out as you lock and unlock it. Alright, this is the latest model and the latest colour actually. Not totally available in New Zealand as yet, but it will be soon. Now of course, a couple of things we should know. You need to unlock the car to get into it. You can pop the boot from the key and the boot pops up. Couple of little tips here too, which I'll show you in a second. The tow bar, detachable tow bar, has been fitted just down here, and then of course just inside the compartment area there will be some space for you, including your Skoda bag for the detachable hitch should you take it off. Now while I'm in here, we'll have a look at things like parcel tray cover. That would go up into this area over here to the left and to the right. Because it's a 7-seater, I've got it in the 7-seater position. If I wanted to lower those, I can just by clicking those forward, and then of course putting them down in a secure position, giving you lots more space in the back of the car. To pull out the parcel tray, all I do is lift up those 2 side compartments and out she comes. Another lovely little tip that Skoda do is, this is quite an interesting little piece in the fact that if you had say a sample of something, there's 2 of these, you would put your sample inside this area here, and then it wouldn't move around the back of the vehicle because it's Velcro, it can almost go anywhere, right? And like I say, a handy little feature to have. To release the rear seats, I can pull this trigger here, and of course the seats fold forward, so even more space in the back of the car. Seat belts up here for those back seat passengers if you happen to have any, and then of course a 12-volt charging unit if you happen to have a fridge or you want to charge something from the back of the car. These are to secure things like bags if you want to do that also. Alright, so that's the back of the car. Just one nice little tip here too. In my case, my wife has one of these cars. She operates in the city to work, and unbeknownst to us, she parks in an area where this was touching and has managed to damage the car. So if you wanted to change the height of this, all you do is pull the door down to your position, hold this button here, and then we're going to get a little alert to say that it is now in that position. It won't go any further now, right? It'll always open and close to that spot, and then it will stop right there. Alright, if I want to take it back, in which I will, to a standard position, I'll push it all the way up, and then I'll be looking for recognition down here again with the 2 bleeps. Alright, so that's the back. That makes it nice and simple. That's over and done with. Shall we see what fuel you're going to be using? Well, all we do is go into this little compartment here, and you'll see that you'll be operating this vehicle with 95 as a minimum. 95. All right, okay, let's have a look into the back of the car while we can. Now, because I put those seats forward, I can actually also adjust them and recline them further back too. Now it comes in a nice fabric and a mix of colours, so you'll see once you get into it, it's actually very, very comfortable. 1 litre bottles in the passenger areas for drinking water. By the way, there's also a nice gift from us, and thank you for buying a car from Tristram European. Now remember, this car comes with a 5-year warranty and a 5-year roadside assist, which means ultimately if something does happen to the car, you call the assist number and someone will either uplift the vehicle for you or will arrange for a repair on the vehicle and a mode of transport. Right, so you've got your back rear seat. There's a charging down there, 12-volt charger. I've showed you that piece there where the middle comes down, and you can actually entertain your guests in the rear of the car. It has a roof rack capability on the top, and of course these rear seats, just with a little lever down the bottom here, will move back and forth. It's ISOFIX rated, so you've got ISOFIX in there also. Let's get into the passenger side. Lever up and down, and for your rear and your sitting position, you can also move that as well, back and forth on here for the seat forward in and out. And then we've got a split, what we call a split glove box. Inside the top there you'll find your information about the car, and then on the lower part, okay, you'll also see inside here there's a little air conditioning duct which is blowing cool air into there, so if you had something like a sandwich whilst you're out driving, you can use that too. Now of course, big storage on the right hand side. Just down in the middle here we've got a console that does move back and forth and up and down, but I'm going to show you something here. If I wanted to hold some cups or my remote control for my key, I can do that inside there. If I wanted to flip it over, I didn't need that, I can do that also. So I've got just a little bit of space like this. Alright, so there you go, that'll keep you sort of interested in a couple of things you can use the car for. That goes back and forth, and by adjusting that up and down, it will hold and lock. To reset, just goes down again. Keeps things nice and safe and hidden away from prying eyes. Right, let's go back around the car again for one more time. As I said, this car it's quite capable. You will enjoy it. Right hand side, all of your window controls, heated rear vision mirror as well, so you can just turn that around in winter time, and then those are heated. Alright, and then we get into here. Your release for the petrol is just down here. A handy little space for change or anything else, like keys might go into here. I'm going to switch this on to auto, which means every time you ignite the car lights will come on. Alright, your road lights. Right, let's just jump into here now and we'll have a bit of a look around. Now this is the dash before we make it live. I push the start button, which is down there on my right hand side. Now the car's alive and I'm looking into it. Right, so first things first, I've had to depress the brake to do that. So I'm going to turn it off now, and then I'm going to restart it, or light up the dash at least, with just the key, and not start the motor. First things first, adjustable in and out and up and down, which will come in handy, depends on how tall you are and how short your arms are. On the right hand side we've got our wiper motions, and left hand side we've got all of our lights and also settings for cruise control. Now this is a great car. As I said, my wife's got one of these. One, it's efficient. Two, it's very spacious. We've got a couple of young daughters, so there's always extra passengers in the car, and if she does go out and buy something unexpectedly, there's plenty of room. Now, in this particular unit here, the new steering wheel is all set up. You've got more room underneath here. They took out a piece and then made it more, or what do they call, aerodynamic, or ergodynamic. Now on the right hand side, we're just going to have a look inside the dash here. I call this my library, so I just go through and I start scrolling through, and as I scroll through with my thumb, I can start seeing little features in there. So say driving data, what I do like to do is set it up for my clients. We'll go back to that driving data, and I'll just scroll through here, so you're rolling up and down, and I'll push on speed. Now speed will give me a big direct number in which the car is traveling, as opposed to looking aimlessly for a needle touching a figure. And you know what it's like when you're out there driving. You got to be very careful about what might come up in front of you. The speed limits dots are there for a reason. Right, and then on the right hand side we've got our fuel, we've got our kilometres. On the left hand side we've got our revs, we've got our oil temperature, and anything that might come up on the left hand side there might relate to an issue with the car. Right, if I go back through into my library, I can look at my assistance controls. It's deactivated at the moment, but I'll activate it when you drive the car. Basically, I've got my lane assist, and again, I'm scrolling up and down until I find something that I like. All right, so we'll get out of there all of a sudden. We'll get into audio. We've got our phone set up. Well, phone's important, so we need to set that up. So that's what we're going to do next. As we go into the infotainment system here, basically we're going to configure it. We're going to look at the time. We're all happy with those times. We're going to look at S8 FM as a radio station, and then we're going to go through and make sure everything is all in its place. So first things first, setting up for your phone, because communication is key. You're going to be looking for My Skoda 1833. Once you've selected that onto your phone, you'll be away. Now you'll go into your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can also set this up. So once that's in there, you've got all your links to your favorite apps, including navigation and all of your contacts. I prefer to roll that way, and it gives me better communication between myself and my clients. Right, if I look down into the car itself, I can then get a little bit of detail on how I'm traveling, selection of what I want to look at, and then go into settings such as lighting in the car, my headlighting. All of this has been set up so on factory settings, and our team have made sure that that's all operating properly. So now you're all set up inside the car. I can normally go to my menu side of things, and I can go through and make any changes I might want to change inside here. There's anything from sound to vehicles to media to maps. All right, now getting out of there, I want to go into I can go into making a request through here. Now this is a factory setup. You will be required to, it will listen to you a few times to get used to your voice. So we go radio. And now it's looking for me on radio. Yeah, so please wait a moment, but ultimately you get what I'm saying. Then you've got, say for instance, radio stations, media. Media might be a selection of, say, a source of talking books or something along those lines. So that's your infotainment system. There's a generous amount of information which is in there. Now down to your fans, and I'm pretty much okay with those. You sync it, you unsync it. You can change temperature, different temperatures on each side of the car. You've got auto park down here, anti-slip, and then your car parking. So driving is basically, it's a DSG gearbox. So once my foot's on the pedal, I'm in drive, I'm in sport. Now what will happen is as you see on the top of the dash on the right hand side, manual is to my left, driving is to my right, and as I shuffle down or just pull down on the lever, it'll go drive or S, D or S, which is drive or sport. Right, listen, it's been so far, I haven't met you guys yet. I'd like to keep working with you. If there's anything that you require, please let me know. Thanks for using Yugo as your fleet management team to coordinate this. This is one of 2 cars so far underway. Like I say, I'm at Tristram's. My name's Darren. If you've got any questions, please give me a call. I'm your new fleet manager. Thanks very much. Cheers.